Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Soul Conversations. Please join us again tonight for an hour of talking about everything Jungian related to current topics. So, hello, my name is Oliver, and tonight my kasama is Nathan De Leon. Hi, Nathan. Where are you, Nathan? I know Nathan is. It's 7:30 in the evening here in Manila, and it's cooking time. So I think Nathan is cooking his dinner.
Cookie. Hi, Oliver. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Nako, it's raining season. And you know what? The other day I got so depressed. I got quite depressed because I heard that Pag-asa announced that it is already officially rainy season,
Yeah.
which makes me because rain makes me depressed.
I, me too, actually. Also,
Really?
yeah, but
Oh,
it's kind of when you wake up, it's cloudy, and when it's cloudy, you don't see the sun, so you're a little bit depressed, right? So,
yeah. The sun
yeah,
is really, I'm a sun person. And it's actually only this year that I'm able to articulate that rain makes me depressed. Oh,
um,
same.
yeah, the
Na
same.
really, ay nako. I'd rather mainit rather than basa. Okay lang mainit, wag lang basa and wet and
Correct. Well, it does also, diba? Good. It's a blessing, they say. When it rains, uh, then,
correct, correct. Oh, how are you, Nathan? What's been up with you? Tonight tonight we are going to talk about a very
interesting.
interesting constellation of topics. So
Wow.
it's many topics, pero there's a connection. It all
Mhm.
connects to one particular uh, Jungian concept. And it's so interesting because all these are happening at the same time and parang it's connected to this one concept of Jung.
Mm.
Um, what's happening these days? This month is Pride Month.
Yes, Pride Month, correct. So love wins always.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
I want to attend Pride March. Let's attend.
sige, sige. If we're not that busy, 'di ba?
Wait,
Oo, Pride Month.
we have to say hi to our guests. Welcome. Feel free to comment
Correct,
and feel free to share this video with people you might think would be
correct.
interested in listening to Jungian topics.
Oh, I'll say hi
Also,
to
it's
my I'll say hi
yeah.
to our brothers and sisters in Pride, the under the rainbow. Ayan, 'di ba?
Hi, hi
'Di ba?
everyone. It
Mm.
just feels right. It just feels right. And I was
Yeah.
asking a friend of mine actually, Pride din ba dyan sa US? Sabi niya,
I
yeah.
think it's
It's
actually
also
tapos na ata June 8, 'di ba?
okay. Uy, maaga sa kanila.
Alam ko June 8 eh. Here rin, I think June 8, pero it's the second week ba? I think, if I not mistaken. Second
Have
week
you
of June.
have you heard of Nathan? It's a group that performs at the marches, at the parades. It's called, if I can say it on air, they're called the Flagots.
Flag, ano ba yun? Di ko alam kung I'm gonna be happy about that.
But
It's
it's
a flag
the
in a
name
map.
the name is weird, but their performance is maganda. They perform with
Talaga.
flags. They
Hmm.
perform with
I haven't heard.
flags. Parang
Okay.
nagtutwirl-twirl sila ng flags.
I haven't heard that.
Ganda.
Yeah, maganda.
Ganda.
Sarap
But
daw.
it's not a Pinoy group. It's stateside.
Oh, it's in the States, New York. Is it in New York?
I think this each state has its own chapter, Flagot's chapter.
Nakakatuwa. Actually,
It's very
I, I
go
don't
ahead.
know, maganda. For this month, we celebrate ang dami-daming ano. Last month was our National Heritage Month. And then this month, June 12 is our Araw ng Kabutihan, di ba? And of course, we have
Independence
this
Day.
Independence
Independence Day.
Day. Yes, and then now we have the Pride, di ba? The Pride Month. It's a Pride Month. June is a Pride Month. So, ayun.
Yeah, so the Pride is happening. And then also nga, as you mentioned, Independence Day is also tomorrow. So happy Independence Day, everyone. And that is one of the events that are happening that we are going to connect to you. Okay. Uh, Also, we just had a batch of graduates. Di ba
Ay,
kagagraduate lang ng mga... Uh, so, these new graduates are now either looking for work,
mm-mm.
are now either as the social, how do you say it, the language um, that the young use now, maghahanap na ng trabaho, adulting na. Adulting na daw sila. So that is also one of the things that are happening these days that we are going to connect to you in this very special concept of room. So
Yeah.
what are those? What are those? What is the connection between pride, independence, day, and adulting?
Yeah.
What do you
Correct.
think is the connection between those two?
Actually, in our yung class and society, di ba, we have this what you call individuation, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yes, you got it.
yeah. So, uh, well, for June 12, di ba? This this flame of loving the country, loving your neighbor or the Philippines or the whole Philippines, it will uh, come from, di ba? Such the what's this the thinking of having this what's this liberation. It will also, di
Yes.
ba, come from your individuation, di
Yes.
ba? Di
Yes.
ba? So, the minute you say yes to yourself, or tahinan natin yung love wins, love yourself. The minute you
Yes.
love yourself, it
Yes.
means that you're ready for liberation. Di ba?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's liberating in a way in different ways for everybody.
Mm-mm. Correct.
And you're right, Nathan. It really comes from ah how do you say it? Parang individuation kasi is the when your journey
Yes.
when you
Towards
go on
yourself.
a journey towards yourself, no?
Mm-hmm.
Towards your authentic self.
Yes.
Uh, so, for example, pride. Uh, that is basically coming out, and it's coming out is just really claiming your own
Power.
unique identity, 'di ba? And now there are so many kinds of there's LGBTQIAB
Yeah.
plus. So each of those uh, claim their own identity. This is me. Sabi nga ng that nice silver screen hit. This is me from the greatest showman. This is me. It's not just finding one's unique identity, but claiming it. And that has to do with uh, being free to claim it. That has to do with uh,
Mm-mm.
journeying, saying yes. Saying
Saying
yes to, di ba? Saying yes to, I'm going to I'm going to be more me.
Yeah. Saying yes to yourself, di ba? Saying yes to
Yeah,
yourself. And
yeah.
I love the ano, uh, Oliver, I really love when you say your true self, di ba?
Mm,
All this mask, di ba? All this mask, you have to take it out to find your true self, di ba? And it's really a journey. It's really a journey uh, looking for your true self. And in that journey, there's a spark of, I want also to help others to find themselves, di ba? Di ba? Yun.
yes, that's a nice advocacy. It uh yung removing the mask, hindi naman it's not to say that you remove the mask and
Ah, yeah. Oh, sorry.
you're exposed, 'di ba?
Yeah,
So
expo.
at your own pace, but little by little,
Little by little.
you claim yourself, and then maybe you let the world see a little bit more of who you are.
Maybe like what I meant to remove the mask. It's like, no, I'm not like this. I'm not like, what I'm wearing now. I am not what I'm wearing now. Like, mahirap kasi, Oliver, when you say, well, when you wake up, ano ba? Wake up. When you wake up na, who are you? Like, Oliver, describe me who is Oliver. Di ba? Before, you would say, like, I'm an artist, I do this, I do that. Now, you cannot define because
It's hard. It's hard.
very hard and it's so many you have so many facets, 'di ba? You're so many you have so many parang kang diamond, right? There's so many
Right.
facets of you.
Right.
And you cannot say that, oh, I Oliver is like this, like that. No, Oliver is, the whole Oliver, 'di ba? Parang, yeah.
Right. It's so hard to describe yourself. It's hard to answer that question. Na parang,
Yeah,
who are you?
correct.
Without, without,
Judgment.
uh, how do you say it? Without mentioning
Mm-mm.
the regular stuff that one answers in a job
Yeah,
interview. What are your
correct.
skills? What
Yeah,
are your, what have you accomplished?
correct.
Uh, what is your job? So parang people are define themselves with their job or their career.
Ayun. Also, I know, we have somebody watching with us. So,
Ayun.
hi, Tita Rose. Ayan. Pink Rose Santiago.
Tito
Hi, Red.
Rose, grabe,
Ayan.
you're always watching. Thank you for for always listening to us.
Oh, ayun. Magpakatotoo ka daw. Ayun. Totoo yan. Actually, Pink Rose, minsan mahirap nga anuhin yung kung sino ka talaga na totoo sa ikaw, di ba? Minsan mahirap di ba? Pakatotoo lang. And si Tito Car is watching also. And Chat. Hi, Chat. Hi, Tito Car. Ayan.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
And Doktora Kiroligo, ayan, nag-watch siya. Hi!
Hi, Doctora. Please feel free
So,
to comment so we can see,
yeah, please feel free
we
to
can
ask
also
question
and
and
also Nathan, so that's pride. Pagdating naman sa independence, it's ganun din whether it's national
mm,
or your own independence when you are, example, when you graduate, you feel independent. Okay. Parang nag-level up ka na. Parang nawala ng konti yung chain that held you
mm,
back nung hindi ka pa graduate. Um, Ganun din sa national. I think I think celebrating Independence Day, um, Philippine Independence Day, is also celebrating the Filipino claiming that this is us. This is who we want to be. Di ba? In other words, pwede na tayo magsarili. Pwede na tayo, we've grown up. We've grown up a bit. Di ba?
correct.
I don't know who's there. It's a holiday, but I don't think anybody really celebrates independence. I've never heard of anyone
Yeah.
celebrating Independence Day.
Pero, ano,
This is
um, Oliver, if you really, love the Filipino, the Filipinos or our, ano, you just try to, like even search for the museums that are online. Ayun. So, para magkaroon ng ano ba, alab ang iyong mga puso, di ba? It's so nice to when you say celebrate, kahit lang naman 2 hours of celebration or an hour, di ba? Just to connect or reconnect with your ancestors or your yung Filipino, di ba? Mas maganda yung ganun, di ba? Mas ma-appreciate nila na kung ano ba yung Filipino, di ba?
Uy, alam mo side story. Side
Hmm.
story, Nathan, you might be kilig.
Mm.
Kasi, I spoke to a friend who is connected, or not is connected, but is who works as an archaeologist. So, nagdidig sila. Tapos, parang they just came from a trip to Australia where one noted archaeologist, Australian archaeologist, gave us back, gave the Philippines back
Oh, wow.
mga pottery that he found. Oh, so he was digging here and then he found pottery and he brought it with him to Australia. Ngayon napatay na siya, binalik nila sa atin. Galing, no?
Ang galing. Dito na rin natagpuan.
Dito
Tapos,
nila
dinala.
yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, it was the term he used was here the items were repatriated. So
mm,
given back to the fatherland or the owners. Um, and the pots were parang first millennium pots.
mm,
Mga 2,000 years ago na pots. Imagine. So that's I think everything adds up and it adds up. And celebrating Independence Day,
yeah.
one really thinks of how far we've come, and but there's also the question of do we really know ourselves?
Yes. Correct. Do we know ourselves, nation, whether Filipino, or do we know
Yeah,
ourselves tayo mismo?
yeah, yes. Alam mo there's this, I was reflecting on our topic tonight. Tapos, ang reflection question ko is, talking about independence
Mm,
and individuality, are we really, do you think we are really, you can say that you're really independent?
yes. Correct.
Can one say that one is really independent? Can one say that one can live without others?
Mm.
Diba?
Actually, last year, that was our, that was our question dati. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin natin nasasagot. Are we independent? Di ba? We say it's Independence Day, pero asa, di ba? Parang, well, in the back of my mind, talagang independent na rin tayo somewhat, di ba? Kumbaga parang, well, because of this world control, doon tayo hindi independent. Di ba? Pero we still can do what we want, we have to do, di ba? We can still do it, right? So, maybe, di ba, we're independent as a, and the term of independence, independent na, di ba? Di ba?
Ikaw ba, also pag kunwari, nag-college ka na, finish ka na college, or finish
Mm-mm.
ka na ng high school, you kind of feel independent, di ba? I mean, like, you feel parang, wow, ano na, parang your parents give you some leeway. Your parents give you some, uh, how do you say it? Parang some leeway, some more freedom,
Mm-mm.
a little more freedom, and then you really feel it. I know some people who are really ecstatic about. Shucks, I'm so happy that that my parents are letting me stay out at night, that they're letting me drive,
Yes, correct.
that they're letting me travel.
Correct. Correct. True. 'Di ba?
Um,
Pero ano, pero Oliver, when it comes to independence, sabi nila, 'di ba, the more power you have, the more responsibility. 'Di ba?
yeah, it's
Responsibility.
nakakatakot kasi it's a big step. It's a big step. Claiming, I think, I want to say that claiming one's identity is a big step.
Correct. Okay, for those who are watching, this is Soul Conversation by Carl Jung. Ayan, Carl Jung calls Soul Conversation. So we we talk about what we think or what we in our journey, 'di ba, Oliver? So, in the
Yes.
journey we share with each one na live talaga siya here. Baka meron kayong makukuhang konting inspiration about what we're talking about. Right, Oliver, 'di ba?
Yes, yes, direct.
Yeah.
Wait, but before, now that you mentioned it, mag-pause muna tayo and let's plug. And let's plug
O sige,
our
wait.
upcoming sessions.
Yeah. So, to know more about Carl Jung, so we have actually Carl, ayan, Oliver, explain mo sino si Carl Jung. Carl, ay, hindi
Carl
niya,
Young,
hindi niya, ano, si John.
ano?
Si John niya. Explain mo kung sino si Carl
Sino?
Jung. yung mga, yung mga hindi familiar who is Carl Jung. Ayan. Explain mo
Okay,
na.
so,
The
okay,
president
so,
of CGCC. Yes.
ay, kaya ko yan kasi pre-practice ko yan.
Okay.
Okay,
Sige.
so Carl Gustav Jung is not a Korean, as one might think from his name, but he is a Swiss psychologist who is not around anymore, but his theories and his research lives on. He studied a lot about the unconscious part of our psyches, the unconscious but very alive part of our psyches. And this is what the Carlin Circle Center uh, strives to impart or to share with our Filipino brothers and sisters. Um, we feel that it is relevant to our modern times, and we do this. We share his research and his theories and his thinking and his depth psychology through public offerings, through our what you're watching now, Soul Conversations, and other activities. So I want to invite you guys, now that we're talking about Carly, I want to invite you guys to our upcoming sessions. It is a three-part series starting June 21. And guess what? Okay, so June 21 is on child development from a Jungian perspective. This is for parents because our kids are not growing up in the world that we used to know. It's a totally new world. Therefore, uh, this session strives to equip parents with what you need to know about child development. If you're raising young kids, if you're working with young kids, if you're a formator, if you're a guardian, if you're a tito, a tita, if you're even maybe a lola uh, who takes care of young kids, this session is for you. The next session on July 5 is about adulting for parents. So where did my child go? All of a sudden, your little child, your little bonito, bonita, is biglang binata na, dilaga na. And along with that comes changes and shifts, not just physical but psychological shifts. And it is important for parents to know what those shifts are so that we can support the young adults or the children who are moving into adulthood. And the last session, which is connected to family relations, is a session on individuation in marriage. And so this is for married couples who would like to explore how each partner, each self can grow within a marriage setting. So please do come and visit our website and sign up because they're very, very nice topics and very, very nice modules. And we have a lot of information to share. So there. So back to Nathan. Nathan!
Ayan. O, di
Nako,
ba?
magluluto
So we
ulit
have,
yata si Nathan.
hindi naman. So,
Ay, hindi ba?
we have three, Oliver. We have three very enlightened, very informative, very, you could, yeah, you could learn about you and your child, di ba? Hmm.
Definitely. Definitely.
I like
Alam
the,
mo,
ano, yeah.
sige, going back to our topic, I want to ask you, do you have any stories about not necessarily coming out, but of being independent,
Hmm.
of going into that independence, of going into that adulting? Do you have any stories?
Well, ano, ewan ko, parang ako, I lost my, from childhood, I jumped na to adulthood. Parang ganun. Alam mo
Oh,
yun, konti na lang yung
yung
teenager
missing.
years. Oo, yung mga
Okay.
teenager years, yung mga ganyan. Kasi I
Why?
had to
What
grow up
happened?
fast because, well, okay naman ako, ng teenager. When I started, I mean, when I reached college, I lost my dad. So, mga third year college, I lost my dad. And for me, it was not enough, 'di ba, na parang I want to still learn about my dad and my, lalo na if you have like a decision to make, life decisions, 'di ba? So the dad figure talaga. Mas magandang tanungin, like mas maganda if he could teach you, 'di ba? If parang alam mo yun, parang if buhay pa lang ang daddy ko. Parang ganun, 'di ba? You
Were
have
you
a
close to him? Were you close to
Well,
him?
yeah, pero not that close. Sabi nila, pwede pero not that close.
May
So,
distance.
may distance pa rin. Kasi syempre, yun na nga, di ba? Ano, very, well, yung mga napapanood ba sa pelikula, di ba, na because you're rainbow, hindi ka lang black and white, you are a rainbow. So, and my dad is a military. So, military yung dad ko. So, medyo, you know, ayun. So, I did not have too much difficulty. But yun lang yung acceptance. You are accepted but not tolerated. Alam mo yun, parang gano'n.
Tolerated but not
Tolerated
accepted.
but not accepted, baligtad. Yeah. Tolerated but not accepted.
But still, tolerance means something.
Yeah. Oo.
Tolerance means something naman.
Oo nga, alam mo, ngayon nga, naku, last night, I was with Gen Z. Gen Z na ba yun? Gen Z.
Mm.
Hindi na Gen Z or Gen X. Yung pinaka-latest. Yung mga tagto 2019, 2020, ganyan. Ayun. Ano, parang there's uh, what's this? There's parang gap. Ang laki ng gap. There's a gap between, our time. Kami nga, ano nga di ba? We're the generation who struggled, or tayo, who struggled for a voice in this rainbow color society. Parang ganun. Ayun.
Yes.
Wait,
Yes.
Oliver, we have a guest here now. So
Ay,
I'll bring
who?
him in. Yeah. So here it's Art.
Oh, hi, Art.
Hey guys,
Hi,
It's the vice
Art.
happy to support you. Yeah,
president. Are you? Art.
Yeah, vice president now. Yeah, and excited about this program, of course. And it's very interesting because you've been giving so many insights coming from your experience of being parented, right? And then there's also the aspect of coming from the perception of a parent.
Mhm.
Whereas as a child being parented, unconsciousness really drives a lot of the like really drives a lot of the growth because you're unconscious and the conscious is filled by what you're seeing, right? And then as a parent though, it consciousness becomes more of like a, how do you say, I have to be extremely conscious. I have to be very, very, very conscious. I have to be almost like perfect in terms of being able to communicate and say the right things to my child so that I know he or she will be equipped to deal with this world the best way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So in our program, that's where you have the dynamic. If you're able to attend with your parent, um, you have the dynamic where you'll be able to see that most of the things that I took from my upbringing that are still showing up in the unconscious patterns, um, they're not things my parents were necessarily conscious of. And as a parent looking at your children, actually, it's a pressure. It's the pressure to be perfect, the pressure to not make any mistakes that creates these unconscious paradigms that sometimes lead to certain situations where emotions are lowered. You know, so yeah,
Yeah, Art. Nako, coming from a parent
yeah.
of two beautiful kids. Pero I'm sure makulit.
Oh my God, my voice, yeah.
So I can understand where your pressure is coming from. No? But like what Nathan said, na there's a big underlying, why is there biglang ano? Nathan, why is there biglang um,
Yeah, I canceled. There's echo pala.
okay, yeah. So regarding what you said, Nathan, there, di ba you said there is a gap between us and the new generation. In our adulting session, July, July, um, the individual will tackle the differences of adulting then and adulting now. So what rites of passage did we go through, and what are the rites of passage in the modern day? So it's changed. It has changed. That's why this is so important for parents to know.
Mm. Yeah, we talked. I don't know if we've touched up on the fact that we've lost so much tradition around these rituals, which would guarantee a certain aspect of expansion, no matter what, whether mom or dad. I mean, if I'm to throw my son when he's 15 into a forest, with a bow and arrow, come back in 5 days with a deer, and you've done it, like the vision quest that the Indians have. That would build some sort of like a man, and we live in a culture. I mean, where there are so many men with power, with all the power to do things and change, but because of the fact that we've lost these ritualistic, these cultural checkpoints, let's say, um, they're man boys, and people who are not necessarily responsible to the degree in which a man would be. And this is again all understanding in all contexts because in calling, it's interesting how
Oops. Nag-freeze. Nag-freeze siya.
it
Well,
Reese,
yeah, alam mo naman pag live.
he has a lot of nice insights, Art.
I can start
Yeah.
seeing a movement here.
Oh, there.
Ayan na pala. He's back.
Art, are you still there? Maybe it's your connection, Art. Art, hello. Anyway, what are you saying, Oliver? Sorry,
Oh.
you were I don't know.
Yeah, I want to ask you, parang follow-up question. Di ba I asked you, what, do you have any stories of adult? Then did you feel na, I'm adult na. Parang hindi na ako bata. Adult na ako. When did you ever feel
Mm,
that? Na
yeah.
I've grown up.
Before I answer that, can I ask a question? Meron ka ba nakabukas na isa pang phone or something? Kasi stutter. Wala. Oh, okay. So, so baka i-fix mo ng konti yung headphone mo. Baka hindi masyadong.
Wala,
Ayan. Ayan.
it's the same. It's the
Oh,
same.
gumaganon siya. But anyway, so thank you very much for that wonderful question. Sabi ni Ruby, medyo serious na daw tayo. Pero just serious. Well, actually, ano, no, yun na nga, for me, when I was in the hospital with my dad, doon ko na realize na, wait, parang, if you're full, yung pagkatao mo full siya, di ba? Because you have your mom and your dad. And you're losing your dad. Parang sabi ko, ay, teka muna. There's gonna be a big hole, di ba? In your sandalan, in your wall, di ba? Parang, oh my, what's happening? Di ba? Parang ganun. And suddenly, you lost your dad because he stayed there for almost 2 years in and out the hospital. Di ba? ICU, regular hospital, nursing, ganyan. So, it was a journey for me. And it gave me insights or life stories talaga that you have to be alone and you really have to be strong, di ba? Yun. So, ewan ko kung nasagot ko yung tanong mo. That time, that time talaga na you have to say yes to you, ikaw, sarili mo, that you have to be tough and you have to be, you know. And then ngayon naman, when you reach the age of di ba, age of Aquarius. When you reach the age of Aquarius, ano na, nagme-mellow ka na, di ba? So you have to be here, you have to be, I'm at the age of ano na, hindi pala Aquarius, I'm the age of Jupiter. The Jupiter age, ayan. Oh wait, nandito si Art. Hi Art, welcome back. Ayan. It's your
Yeah,
muted. You're muted.
Hey guys,
that's a difficult
can you hear me?
thing
Yeah.
to how do you say it? To parang witness somebody whose health is slowly getting zero. I mean that's tough.
Yeah.
And if it's somebody pa inside your house, if it's somebody like your dad, then that I can understand that it's very, very you grew up after that.
Ay, nawala ka. Nawala.
Did you feel like did you feel like did you feel like uh you grew up after that?
Yeah, as I said, 'di ba? If you have individuation or you have your self awareness, it comes with the responsibility. So you have to be mature, 'di ba? Hindi na pwede yung ay sinabi ko yun, ay hindi pala, ay sinabi ko parang ganun, 'di ba? Ayan si Art. Hi
Hello,
Art.
can
Yeah,
you guys hear
hello.
me?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, okay, good.
100%.
Okay.
Hi Art.
So it's interesting. I'm actually in my children are away, and I'm in my child's crib. you know, so as a father, not having the kids away, it's
Oh, okay.
again an interesting time. I mean, um, so I think going back to the fact that we're now at a point where the rate of growth and the pressure in terms of being able to apply the the fruits and benefits that we get from it in terms of moving forward. There's never been as many. It's never been needed as much. Everything's so fast that with our children, for me, I feel we can't. We should not waste any time. I mean, for me as a parent, if I can be as open as possible to the things that maybe seem very, very wrong to me or that I don't understand, that don't make sense, um, that might allow my child to really blossom into my children to really blossom into whatever specific flower they're supposed to be. Um, and I mean, we have a planet, one thing. We have technology. Where are we going to go in terms of consciousness? I mean, it's not the consciousness I have that I'll be passing on to my children. It's the things that are hiding behind that consciousness. And what are the things that hide behind the consciousness? Triggers, perception. No matter how expansive your perception is, a trigger can distort it to such a way that maybe that's the only thing I can perceive. And I had a session with a client last week where so many negative things happening, and I could see the situation being, this guy's just negative. It's just happening. And for the first time, rather than inject the positivity, I'll be like, everything's gonna be all right. Don't worry. I just wrote him with it. And I said, fine, fine, fine. And it turned out exactly as I hoped it to be. But the great things with my client, it was less resistance because I realized that the more I pushed with the belief that it's like possible, the greater the distortion became. And I mean, how do we play this to our children? How do we play this as parents, to put children to the parents, right? It's like daddy's triggered right now. He thinks he's right. Like it's obviously not right, you know. But I can't say he's wrong, you know. So having the humility to say, like anak, like Minea, Marcus, you know, daddy's still working on a lot of things that he's not even aware of. Mommy sometimes has to pay for it because daddy doesn't know, and that happens. But the important thing is we're working on it. And I think in that beauty, this is where depth psychology pulls its, what do you call it? It pulls its weight. The deeper you go, the less you care about what you look like, the less you care about like what something feels like. It becomes really about the heart, the individual, the purpose of being. And instead of being a parent that holds my children back from whatever fractal purpose they're supposed to turn into, I mean, maybe like I want children to be flowers, but my son's turning into cactus. Let's just say I don't like cactuses. Okay, there's something I might do that might be stunted. He will not know what he is. And for me, I just would would be able to apply with grace the fact that the more unique you are, okay, and the more I'm able to be conscious of the judgments that demonstrate separation, right, and division, the better it is for the environment because ultimately it comes from love, you know. So it's like it's a conscious calling for the planet. Each, especially mothers, the mothers and the fathers, but mothers and very much because our planet is a female. It's female. I mean, you can hear. Yeah, the planet is female. So it's interesting. Parents here, but my family left for Finland last Friday, um, and it's nice and quiet, but at the same time, I miss them. You know, so yeah, maybe for both of you, coming from the context of like being parented and not having to parent, right? How could you relate what I'm saying to your own experience?
Well, actually, art means sometimes I don't know. Uh, I think about that. Like, uh, so do I have the knowledge of being a parent, diba? But you could parent your own, you could parent yourself, or syempre iba naman yung there's a different, like kids are kids. I do have nephews, and I do have nephews, and I do have nieces. So, syempre, iba naman yung 24 hours parenting, di ba? 24 hours parenting. But I think it's the same, di ba, Oliver? It's really the same. Like you have your niece and your nephews, di ba? So I think it's the value of it, right? It's a value. It's what you acquire from your parents. You just give it. But kasi there's no ano eh, there's no notebook on parenting. You know, like do this, do that. Diba? It always it always depends on something, diba? So how do like if your daughter has the first, sorry for the word, but menstruation, so how
Mm.
do you do that? How would you or how would you take care of her? Parang ganun, diba? Tama ba ako, Oliver? Am I making sense?
Mm. Yeah.
Of course you are, Nathan.
Yeah.
How would I react? Can I react? Uh, I'm not a parent, but I can. So I don't think it's the same. I can never say that. I don't want to say that it's the same as even if I take care of nephews and nieces, children. I can never say that it's the same as if I were the parent.
Mm.
Kasi iba yung
Yeah.
once you're a parent, parang once you have children, you're parang it changes you. That is my perception of parents. And I'm I feel um, very much respect. I have a lot of respect for parents who, kasi for me, it's easy for me. It's easy for me that, to allow kids, to allow my nieces and nephews to grow up the way they, you know, uh, finding, exploring who they are, experimenting. There is a lot of, I give them a lot of leeway because I'm not the parent. But I have a lot of respect for parents who do give their children that freedom, or who who love their children so much that they support the growth of their children, not only physically but psychologically, emotionally, mentally.
Mm.
My my parents were quite. I always say they were quite liberal with me, as compared to my me and my younger sister, as compared to my older brothers and sister. And they would always say, "Nako, when we were young, us, but with you,
Mm.
you and your
Mm.
younger sister, hindi na."
Mm.
So that's exactly what I was saying a while ago. That times
Mm.
also needs to change. That is
And,
my
and I
that
think
is
for
my
I mean for
answer.
yeah, I mean for any of you viewers who have attended some seminars around large group awareness trainings, I mean one of the main modules around self development really. I mean before I can start talking about me, is this the me I am really who I am, or is this just the me daddy who he passed away and wanted me to be, but I'm not really daddy and mommy more, and so you get pulled away from who you are so much by the expectations that seem to matter, even though the person is no longer in this vibration, and it's almost like the journey to be who I am is more about remembering who they are through who I am, and that's a very different thing than how do you say we confuse that with being them and not. I mean, for me, in my journey at least, right? Because in these large group awareness trainings, the activities that have the most power are the ones where we look at mommy and daddy, and we give the participants an opportunity to start to let go of all the weight that they've been carrying. That maybe the times that daddy wasn't conscious about like what he was saying. Maybe the times mommy was just running with the emotion, the eros of a woman, because daddy just was not making any sense. And when something doesn't make sense, a woman can, can retake it in some way. So how do these children take that? The saddest thing that I found in my work in the years which work as a coach and a depth coach and depth practitioner is that the child will always take the situation as a wound, as a kind of like a responsibility to bear. Like my father died in 2003. It took me about, like, I think I forgave myself, forgave myself 2016. In a seminar, sitting there where
Wow.
like, Art, who have you not forgiven? I'm like, uh, not forgiven? No, what's it doing? No concepts. Who have you not forgiven? Me. I just cried. And then you step into it with these activities. You know, you do certain activities where you're able to visualize daddy, mommy, and you're able to say maybe the things that, you know, you weren't able to say. Apologize, acknowledge. And once that's released, the energy, it's open. Because the expectation to be loved, like, to make Maddie, daddy and mommy proud is big. Because that type of love is not something you can calculate. That type of love is not something you can measure. So when we fall short of it, it's like for example, this is a big example. This is my bedroom. So in my bedroom, I have my daddy right there. See, he's there. And I almost feel like, yeah, and
Ah,
almost I feel
okay.
like I have to feel this white
Okay.
part. I mean, he's looking at me judgmental all the time. You know, but that's him. You know, um, now what I've learned is that I'm very different from my father. Extremely different. I'm very feminine, super feminine. I'm very, very emotions matter a lot. Very sensitive. That does not mean that I cannot be a man. You know, but in the pursuit of acceptance and recognition, I would always have a resistance at the fact that I was more like my mother than my father because I couldn't do things like hey, I have the power is power. So even in this, as I'm saying this, and I'm letting go of that, that's really creating space for my own children to be in a space where, hey, your mommy or dad, it doesn't matter. Because your heart, for me at least, my heart, as it beats, it vibrates. My soul, I believe, is somatic, meaning I believe our souls are like somatic. So somatics are basically when you have like water and you play a frequency on it and you start seeing different mandalas, like snowflakes and such, right? You need to find your soul song so that that somatic shape is who you are, whatever that might be. Could be a mandala, could be a four-leaf clover, could be a big McDonald's sign for all I care, right? But that's your vibration, and I truly believe that if every person were to strum the strings of their hearts, we would be living in a reality, a symphony of just uniqueness, a vibration of love, where every person's song would be put together in a symphony of just like, wow, it's unique, but everything has its place. And if I can kind of like in some way give my children the space to say that, daddy, daddy, I really don't like, it's not really for me to hang out with opposite sex. Daddy, I like similar sex. I like as early as it can be possible, as early as possible. If that is who you are, and you feel it in your heart, because we forget feelings are subjective to truth. Truth is subjective to experience. Understanding is an illusion that will always fall short of expectation because resonance is the only thing that is. If it resonates with you, you don't have to understand it, right? And to allow, and I mean, that's why I have a lot of, it's very interesting for LGBT community and what the parenting process is like. Because many times I have to fight for, you know, who I am. I have to fight for, I have to fight and struggle against like what society says to be this, right? Yet when you really look at it, where does that come from? It's like, it's a knowing. So as we step forward to this space where the union of the opposites is not just a goal, it's a necessity in terms of integrating with the consciousness of her mother, with the consciousness of everything that exists. I feel that the love of letting the flower be what it is, allowing that you cannot put an alarm clock on a rose is blooming. You cannot say when the leaf is going to fall because the only time that really exists is gestation. So
Yes,
it, and it's hard because as a parent, you want to be like, I want to do this, I want to do that. You got to be here. You have to be this. Like, no, 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 no. You that this
but
breathe.
Art,
Yeah,
would you agree with me that parents should be, as a parent, should all be support for his or her child? Like always support. You can never. Well, me growing up in the 80s, it's all about mom and dad. What the dad wants, what the mom wants. But now I think it changed. It's really There have been changes, in parenting now. It's more they're
Correct.
open. They're more
Correct.
open. They're more open. Like in our community, like
Correct,
LGBT.
Nathan. Correct.
In
mm,
LGBT community,
Correct.
they're so open. Also, they and then all these children, like the next to the Gen Zs or the Gen X or the Gen Zs after, what do you call that ba? Yung mga the kids from 1920 to 23. They have their own, ways of doing it. Um they have their own preferences. So I think are the most wonderful gift as a parent could give is, let the child be, di ba? Just in support
yeah,
for the I know
yeah. And
the children, right?
Yeah,
Right,
tama yan,
Oliver?
Nathan. You're right. It has changed from nakarinig pa ako before na just my son. You're just my daughter. You're just
Oo.
uh
yeah,
and then you can see the change now na people are really listening to and looking out for what the child wants, what the child needs, what the child is attracted to.
Yeah.
No, kung dun, if you feel like if you feel like your child is good in music, you observe, then dun mo siya, you support them in going towards that direction. Pero before, hindi ganun. Hindi ganun.
all
It's
it's
what the father wants, what the mother
Wonder.
wants, what the lola wants.
Correct.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So this is a societal structure we live in where I've never felt a feeling on its own. You know what I mean by that? Because before I can feel something, I've an expectation drilled into me what that feeling should be like. So what if it doesn't feel like that?
Mm,
What happens there, right? So like I tell my children, feelings are not always right, but I tell you what, they're never wrong. They're not always right, but they're never wrong.
mm,
yeah.
And certain feelings that come out at certain times that you have to follow because that's your heart's vibration saying you, like you gotta follow that. You gotta follow that path. I mean, for me, one big one is okay, my heart, but I love to heal with my hands. But I have certain judgments about masajistas. Sorry, and the fact that, as an industry, like you can see me coming, hello, I'm on the beach in some resort in Baraka, I know, right? So silly how those 3D judgments have actually kept me from expanding on a gift that's a great gift. I'm great at it. But if I feel it could be my song. I connect
Yeah.
everything together. So as long as me being an example, showing my kids that as well. And just telling them that the only expectation I have of them is to call me out on my expectations that I'm projecting from a place of fear. Right?
Yes,
Ah,
correct. I agree,
yeah.
Art. Like
Yeah.
it's all about projections, like
Yes.
you know, I really envy the generation of today because it has been a long journey from like you should be you should be like this, you should be like that, you should like when I was when I was small, like when you go to church on a Christmas evening na meron siyang ganito dito, oh, you should wear this, it's so comfortable. And you're so comfortable in your, uncomfortable and you're starting to itch because it's a big lace, whatever, di ba? So what I'm driving at, it's really, it's a big step now. So, yeah. Ayun, guys, it's I think Oliver Art, it's time na.
Yes,
Awesome.
So
it's
again, yeah,
it's
Great
it
time.
point.
bitin na naman. So we look forward to another soul conversation with Art and Oliver and di ba? So again, Oliver, invite them to our workshop. Ayan. So you could help ano you could learn from our workshop on the hindi naman how to be a good parent or a bad parent, but how to be a parent. Ayan.
No, no, no,
Ayan.
no, no. It's not about
Oh,
how to be parent. But first,
ayan.
let me thank Art. Let First let me thank Art for your very nice insights. I wish you luck on your parenting journey.
Yeah.
I wish you also much hugs and love on your parenting journey. I know that's a very hard task, very hard role. Um, Thank you also, Nathan, for your nice insights also.
I'll just add one
And
little thing.
okay,
Sorry, Ollie.
so
Just
Okay.
one little quick thing in that. So in the parenting journey, this is great because it's just me talking. But if we have me and my wife talking here, this might be an entirely different. You might see a consciousness clash, right? So that's
definitely,
that's right, and that's so. And I guess that's also the beauty of it because the need to be right will always get in the way of the need who you are, right? So yeah, that's another
definitely,
element. Yeah.
definitely.
Correct.
So I
Ayun.
just want to say that
Oliver.
our upcoming sessions, are not how to be parents,
Ah,
okay?
sorry.
Because
Oh,
it's not focused on that. It's for
yeah.
parents, but
For parents.
it's not a how to be parents. What we focus on is the child development. What are the stages of child development? What are the transitions, the psychological transitions that come with adulting, so that parents can be support, so that parents are aware that hindi na katulad ng dati na when we were growing up, hindi na ganon. The times have changed. And if we are still living in that time, then kawawa naman our kids. So it's really more about that. We cannot say na you're wrong, your parenting style is wrong, because there is no wrong parenting style. Everything pans out in the end. Everything happens for a reason, so they say. So it's really not about uh, good parenting, bad parenting, but it's
Yeah.
really just letting people know that this is how a
A
child
support.
works, and this is what a child needs psychologically. So let me invite you again to
Yes.
our June 21 child
21.
development from a Jungian perspective. July 5, where did my child go? What happened to the baby that I had in my arms? This was now adulting. That's on July 5. And on July 26, we have a very special session for married couples. Uh, for that for them to have the self, each partner uh, be allowed to grow within the marriage. So there.
Ayan. So,
Nathan, would you like to
everyone,
close?
you just have to um, log lang sa ating ano. I mean, to see the Facebook, like and follow our Facebook page. It's CJCC or Carl Jung Circle Center. Ayan. So we post there on what's happening in our circle, in our
And
group. Yes. Yes, Oliver.
and you can register pala.
Yes,
Ako nagsalita.
register. Correct.
How about how to register? You can register through our website, youngcirclecenter.com. Yungcirclecenter.com.
Yeah, ayun. So,
Okay, so
Oliver,
thank you,
yeah,
Tita
thank you,
Rose,
thank
for
you.
to all our listeners.
We'd like to thank, ayan, so, let's thank muna si Marco Puso, si Ana Marie Garcia Lantano, Paulo Daniel Pardo,
Hi, hi,
and
Ana.
Dante Arreglado,
Hi, Papo.
Josephine Lopez Abaja, and
Hi,
Chat.
Dante.
Yan, si Chat. Baktol, yan. Si Chat was listening. Oh,
Hi,
we're
hi,
listening.
chat.
Yeah. So yun,
Salamat,
so
salamat.
it's a nice topic for today, and we look forward for another
See
uh
you next month.
yeah, next month we have another topic, and
See you
yeah,
next month. Abangan, abangan. Masaya yung topic next month.
correct. Happy Pride and happy Independence Day on June 12th.
Happy Independence
Tomorrow.
Day.
Tomorrow, yeah. Maraming
Thank you.
salamat, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good
And
night, everyone.
as we
Thank
say,
you.
paalam.
Good night, Nathan.
Paalam. Bye.